Hey y'all. So tomorrow is my 1 month on T. Yesterday I injected my fifth shot, so that means I'm 4 weeks on T. And tomorrow is actually my official 1 month. So I just thought I'd do an update video, update on my changes and my life and stuff like that. So uh, I've been really impatient for the changes to happen. Obviously, like I just want them to happen as fast as possible so I can start I don't know, I guess being perceived as a guy more often because right now that's still not really happening. But when I went to write down like all the things that have happened, I realized that a lot of stuff has happened. So that's really cool. So the biggest thing that's changing right now is that I've got hair in a lot of places. Like the tops of my thighs used to have no hair on them at all, but now there's just starting to be like these little dark hairs all along the tops of my thighs. And that started pretty quickly after I had my first shot. I mean, it was a few days later, and I was like, oh, was that hair always there, or is it new, or was it always there and I just didn't notice it? So, but now it's definitely getting longer, so it's definitely a testosterone thing. Also, my arms, like, just feel a lot more muscular. Like, I mean, I'll just, like, cross my arms like this and be like, oh, dang, all right. There's some muscle there that definitely wasn't there before. So that's really cool. And yeah, I'm excited to see what else that does because I like haven't worked out or anything. It's just kind of happened. And then I think my forearms are starting to look more masculine. I don't know. That's probably my imagination. Mood, I I tend to get annoyed pretty quickly, a lot more quickly than when I was pre-T, but it's not like I'm just this rage monster, you know, it's just like I get annoyed really easily and I'm annoyed longer than I used to be, but yeah, like I said, it's not like I'm angry all the time, so it's fine. Sex drive is definitely a thing. Um, it's pretty much constant, so that's fun. My jawline, I don't know if you can tell yet, but it feels like there's like less fat along my jawline, like it's sharper. And my voice, I don't think it's really changed pitch. It hasn't like gotten lower, but a lot of times like right now when I'm talking, I can feel it in my chest, and that very rarely happened when I was pre-T. It was like if I was really tired and it was really late, then I would feel my voice in my chest. But now my voice comes from my chest a lot more often, but it hasn't actually changed pitch yet. So that's really cool. I think it like resonates more, and I feel like I can talk louder and stronger than I used to be able to. So that's pretty cool. Um, my junk is changing. I don't really want to talk about that very much, aside from to say that, like, I don't know, it's harder for me to get comfortable when I sit down because it just gets uncomfortable a lot more easily. So I have to, like, shift around a lot to find a position that's comfortable to sit in when I first sit down. Um, I started my period, like, 3 days after I started T, which that was on schedule. It was supposed to happen. And the second morning of it, I woke up like in awful pain, just cramping really hard. It didn't last too long, but I've heard that when when you're on your period, your testosterone levels, especially at the start, are like the highest that they ever are. So adding testosterone to that, I guess, just ramped it up a lot. So it made the pain really bad. So that was bad, and so I should start another one um, in a few days, but you know, fingers crossed that I don't. Let's see. Oh, so crying. When I was pre-T, I cried a lot. I was definitely a crier. But now it's like there are situations when I get really frustrated or upset or sad or whatever, and whereas before I would just cry, like I couldn't stop myself from crying. Now it's like I feel like I need to cry, but I can be like, no, I'm not gonna cry. So that's cool. Like I've cried like once since I started T, and it was kind of, I don't know, it was a little bit different, but it's not like, oh, I can't cry anymore. I can't make myself cry anymore. It's not that. It's just now I can control whether or not I cry, which I actually really like because before I couldn't, and it was really frustrating. Um, Hunger. I'm hungry a lot. Well, I don't know. It's like I'm hungry a lot, but I can't eat a lot in one sitting. Like I'll just eat something really small, and then an hour or two later, I'll be hungry again. So it's like I'm eating more often, but I'm eating less when I do eat, which I've heard is healthy anyway. But sometimes I forget to eat, so I should work on that. Oh, this is a weird thing that like I never saw anywhere, but sometimes my ears just get really, really hot, and I'm like, and like they hurt. They get so hot that they hurt, and I'm like, what is going on? And especially like I don't know when I'm trying to go to sleep or right after I've gotten out of the shower, and so like I'll lay my head on the cool side of a pillow, and it helps. But yeah, I talked to a cis male friend of mine, and he was like, oh yeah, that did happen during puberty. I completely forgot about that, and he said it still happens sometimes. So I guess that's just a testosterone thing. But it's just not one I've never. It's not one I'd ever heard of before, so it was interesting. I smell different. My sweat smells a little bit different. My pee smells a little bit different. I think I sweat a little bit more, but also it's just really hot, so I don't know. My confidence is definitely up, but I don't know if that's the testosterone or if that's just because I've kind of been changing my perspective on things lately. I've basically just been thinking, I've had a lot of conversations where I've realized that I just have to make the most of my life and do what I need to do to make myself happy and not worry about what other people think of me. So my confidence is definitely up. After my first shot, I felt really weird. It felt really surreal to like want something for a really long time and then have it, but nothing really changed, obviously, like right after I did my shot. But I also got really anxious, like, what if I had done it wrong? I got anxious again after the second shot, but after that, it wasn't bad. My shot yesterday, I thought I was going to die um, because I forgot to aspirate, and then a lot of blood came out when I pulled the needle out. So I was like, I injected into a vein, I'm going to die. But then I Googled it, and I didn't. I'm pretty sure I just nicked a vein, so it was fine. Acne hasn't been too bad. I used Noxzema for like 3 weeks, the first 3 weeks, and then I've been really bad about using it lately, but really, I barely have any acne. It's pretty cool. Updates on life. I got a job at a retailer I won't mention. Um, and that's been really good. Like, it's given me something to do, and like, I'm gonna get some money from that, and like, I really like working, but my coworkers misgender me a lot, which is really frustrating. I've been trying to correct them. I corrected one like explicitly. I was like, listen, just so you know, I am male, so you should say he and not she, and she was really nice about it. So I just need to get better at correcting people because that's something I'm not very good at. But other than that, like the job's really good and life is good. I've been hanging out with really good friends. My life feels like it's on track. Like I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with my future, but I know I've got time, so I'm not super worried about it. And I think that I'm going to try to start saving up for top surgery and hopefully get that done in the next year, which I'll talk about that in another video.